Good evening. Thank you for joining us on News 360. It is live from Adesawe Kanda in Accra. I am Aisha Yakubu Khalid.
And I am Martin Asiedu Date. Here are the headlines for this evening.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint
and Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
New Patriotic Party National Council members solely to vote in runoff to break fifth position tie during Superdelegates Congress.
Also coming up this evening, Attorney General files 39 fresh charges against former CEO of defunct Men's Gold, Nana Appiah Mensah, at Accra High Court.
Also coming up, minority in Parliament says it is ready to meet in court after police injuncted September 5 Occupy Bank of Ghana protests.
We must say that we are very disappointed with this development, which is clearly an attempt to scuttle the protest, which is intended to hold the governor of the Bank of Ghana and his two deputies accountable for their mismanagement of the bank.
And later in the bulletin, fear grips a Duajiri resident and security beefed up after 2 people were killed and several others injured in a renewed chieftaincy dispute.
In business this evening, aggrieved customers of Men's Gold call for swift prosecution of embattled CEO of the defunct gold dealership firm Nana Appiah Mensah Nam1 as Attorney General files 39 fresh charges against him.
On the international front, 8th coup in former French colonies in Africa in the past 3 years as Gabon leader is ousted by the army.
The details of these and many other stories, including sports and entertainment, coming up over the next 1 hour. Don't forget, we're also live on DSTV, channel 279.
Let's go straight to the election command center now. Only the National Council members of the New Patriotic Party will vote in this year's September 2 election. I beg your pardon, the September 2 runoff between Boakye Ejaku and Francis Adainemo to decide the fate of the 2 flag-bearer hopefuls. The decision was reached after a National Council meeting of the party. My colleague Noble Crosby Annan was there and has come through with his report.
It's been a long day for the leadership of the NPP. The agenda, simple. Find ways to break the tie between the 2 fifth-place candidates in the Special Delegate Congress, Adainemo and Boakye Ejaku, who both polled 9 votes. The party has made a decision, and it was arrived at after deliberations with the National Council of the party. The tie will be broken by only members of the National Council in an election on Saturday. Here's General Secretary of the party, Justin Frimpong-Kodia, explaining how and why this decision was arrived at.
National Council, which is the body that constituted the Presidential Election Committee, varied Section 25 of the rules and guidelines by the Presidential Elections Committee to read that, yes, there will be a rerun, but the rerun, the delegates will not be the special delegates or the delegate that constituted the special delegate. But however, the National Council will break the tie, meaning that members of the National Council are going to be the delegates for the election on Saturday. And the reason being that the constitution of our party under Article 10.3 gives the National Council the power to take decisions in the best and well-being of the party. And it's based on that the National Council has taken that decision. One, to save costs, and also to make sure we get it done as quickly as possible.
Also at this emergency meeting by the National Council, a decision taken by the Election Committee was annulled. This annulment makes it possible for government appointees to act as agents of the aspirants.
National Council also overruled the decision by the Elections Committee, which agreed with the aspirants that government appointees, party officers, and MPs cannot be agents for aspirants. The National Council has made the point that going to the 4th November, any aspirant has the free will to choose any agent of his choice.
For TV3 News, Noble Crosby Annan.
Right, so let's dig deeper into this particular new angle that's coming out of the New Patriotic Party. We've been joined by Dr. Kwesi Amakye-Boateng, who is a senior lecturer at Department of History and Political Studies at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Doc, good evening. Thank you for your time. Almost 900 people went out to vote. Now it's been cut down to just the National Council members. Is that a fair process? From the fact that we are looking at democracy within the New Patriotic Party, is this a fair decision democratically?
Thank you for the opportunity, and let me say good evening to your viewers. Laws are made for human beings, and I think time and context also determine what sort of law we want to make for ourselves. And political parties act in ways as to sustain the party interest, the party's supreme interest. At any material moment in time, the actions and inactions of political parties are guided by what they see and define as the party's general interest. I like to believe that this is what has guided the decision that has come out now. The issue as to fairness, will have to be, looked at differently. Will have to be looked at differently. And as it is, you expect the party's members to be ready to play by the new rules. If you go into any elections, and elections are always guided by rules and regulations, it's almost always possible for some of the actors to, cry foul because of one or another regulation. But the fact of the matter is that the party needs to break this tie, and the individuals involved should have faith in the National Council and for that matter, the body that is now going to break the tie. It has to go in one or another way, and we got to understand that interest is the key here. Individuals in political parties do that because of interest. Ordinarily, they are supposed to allow the party's interest to supersede that of their own. So I think the issue of fairness is something that will not, play out so much.
Would it have been okay if any of the candidates decided to step down? That was the expectation of many, that considering the fact that both of them, even the numbers they got compared to the first, second, and even third, one should have just decided to step down. Was that an expectation you also had as a political watcher?
I did, and my understanding, among others, is one that, strategies are key to everything. Ordinarily, you want to come to a conclusion that none of the two is going to carry the day come the November elections. So they would have liked to position themselves to appeal to the leadership of the party now and tomorrow, so that when it comes to future appointments, people like these, if any of them had, stepped down, those people would have been considered as individuals who decided to allow their personal interest, to be submerged in the overall supreme interest of the party. So I saw that as a strategic move, a card that any of the two could have played. I wouldn't have been surprised even if the two or decided to step down and allow the processes to go to save the party funds and so on, and stuff like that. They didn't do it. Whatever it is that, caused that is something that they know individually. But interestingly, you would have liked to play, a card here to reposition yourself in the good books of the party's leadership today and tomorrow. Yes, right. I anticipated that.
And finally and briefly, which of them are you confident will go through? Boakye Agyarko or Adah Nimo?
I've not really been following the fortunes of these individuals so much. I'll goof if I make any attempt.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Kwesi Amache Boateng from the university.
And now to another headliner. The Attorney General Godfrey Diabodame has taken over the case involving the Chief Executive Officer of defunct gold dealership firm Men's Gold Ghana Limited, Nana Pia Mensah, popularly known as NAM1. The state filed 39 new charges at the High Court on Wednesday, August 30. My colleague, Lodi Duasare, reports.
Making 36 appearances in courts without trial, former Men's Gold boss Nana Pia Mensah's plea is yet to be taken on 61 new charges in an amended sheet filed on September 3, 2019. Prosecutor ASP Haliga, while holding brief for Superintendent Sylvester Asare on Wednesday, July 26, 2023, told an Accra Circuit Court that the police were awaiting advice from the Attorney General after forwarding the docket to the office. The Attorney General on Wednesday, August 30, however, filed 39 new charges at the Accra High Court against NAM1 after filing a nolle prosequia at the Circuit Court. This means that the state has dropped all 61 charges and will no longer continue with the case at the Circuit Court. NAM1 now faces prosecution with a new 39 charges. Per the charge sheet, NAM1 faces 25 counts of defrauding by false pretense, contrary to sections 131(1) of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29, and 7 counts of fraudulent breach of trust, contrary to section 128 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29. The other charges are 7 counts of money laundering, contrary to section 12AI of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020, Act 1044. Men's Gold Ghana Company Limited and sister company Brew Marketing Consult Ghana Limited have been cited in the suit by the Attorney General. With the AG taking renewed interest in the case with the latest action, the Men's Gold boss will now know his fate at the High Court on September 19 as the trial continues. Lodi Duasare, TV3 News, Accra.
The Accra Regional Police Command has filed a motion at the High Court seeking to stop the minority in Parliament and other groups from embarking on their planned protest against the Bank of Ghana governor and his 2 deputies. Deputy Minority Leader Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa and Chief Whip Governs Kwame Agboja, however, insisted that the protest will come off on September 5 as planned via the same routes.
We must say that we are very disappointed with this development, which is clearly an attempt to scuttle the protest, which is intended to hold the governor of the Bank of Ghana and his 2 deputies accountable for their mismanagement of the bank, which has resulted in an unprecedented and colossal loss of 60.8 billion Ghana cedi. An amount which has had serious consequences on the economy and pushed close to 1 million Ghanaians into poverty. Let us assure the people of Ghana that as representatives of the people of Ghana, we will keep our sacred duty. And indeed we will. Our sacred duty to uphold the public interest in line with our constitutional guaranteed right.
There's absolutely no basis for the police to suggest that members of parliament were going to ransack the Bank of Ghana. With the police can be assured that if they decide to withdraw their motion, we can sit down and conclude on that. But they cannot tell us that we should go and protest at Independence Square. What is the basis of that one? It will not be effective. So our doors are still open, but as far as we are concerned, we have been stabbed in the back by the Greater Accra Regional Police.
Let's now go to the eastern region now, where fear has gripped residents of Eduejiri near Nsawam in the region after 2 people were killed and several others injured in a renewed chieftaincy dispute. Security has also been beefed up in the town to avert further clashes. My colleague Godwin Asidwa reports.
It's day 1 after an alleged gun attack related to an ongoing chieftaincy dispute resulted in fatalities at Eduejiri near Nsawam in the eastern region. 41-year-old Evan Tefum who suffered gunshot wounds during the clash, is currently receiving medical treatment at the Nsawam Government Hospital, where doctors are hoping to remove bullets from his body.
I was going somewhere before the clash started. Suddenly, I realized I had been shot.
In the Aduajiri township, the tension is still felt. Bullet holes now mar the facades of shops, serving as visible reminders of the clash that rocked the community. Residents can't stop wailing. They have lost their loved ones.
I am currently standing at Okwanajo Palace, where most of the victims actually ran towards here to seek help when they were shot. We have been told that 5 are in a critical condition at the moment and 2 unfortunately died. Right here at the entrance you can see people down in the dumps regarding the incident that happened. They're really sad, describing the incident that happened yesterday as total wickedness. This is the blood stains of a human being who was shot yesterday. We have been told that most of them who ran towards here struggled coming through from the entrance into the palace. If you enter into the palace as well, you get to see blood that has also been splashed all over.
We've made a report to the police, and we are yet to see what they can do.
Kwame Apitu is one of the victims who were shot and killed in yesterday's clash, and we are currently in his house. The mood here entirely is pure sadness, and this is his wife here who has been crying uncontrollably. She has been sharing with us her last experience with her beloved husband.
I told him I was going to prepare his favorite meal when I returned from church. Upon returning, I was told he was dead.
The police have been strategically stationed at key locations to closely monitor the situation and prevent any further unrest. The incident unfolded when the convoy of the recently installed chief by Achim Ebuaka Traditional Council was being installed through the township. The new chief was installed last week and is still undergoing some customary rites in Chebi. The Nsawam Aduajiri Municipal Chief Executive Isaac Kojo recalls a similar incident claiming one life 3 months ago.
From here, I will report to the regional minister so that whatever interventions we have to do so that this matter will be finalized or normalized, we are going to do that.
Godwin Asidiba, TV3, Aduajiri, Eastern Region.
Still on security and crime, calm has been restored at Godenu near Hohoi in the Volta region following a violent clash between the community and the police. A police patrol vehicle and a motorbike rider who was involved in an accident, after which some of the community members in a confrontation set the police vehicle on fire. 2 people lost their lives, and the motor rider who sustained injury during the accident is currently receiving medical attention. 12 people have so far been arrested and 1 pistol retrieved. Police say investigations are underway to establish the actual cause of the incident, including the circumstances under which the 2 people lost their lives. Security has meanwhile been beefed up in Hohoi Township and its surrounding communities to ensure law and order.
And now President Akufo-Addo has commissioned the Electrochem salt mine and processing plant located in Adansege in the Greater Accra region. The project, which was launched in November 2020, is set to produce 2 million metric tons of salt by 2027. Judith Awachitando reports.
It is the largest salt mine and processing plant in all of Africa, with a capacity to produce about 1 million metric tons of salt per year. What's more, this salt can supply both local and export markets, which of course is certainly a win for Ghana. And just maybe, if all things work as expected, Ghana may become the leading producer of salt in Africa.
When we came here, the price of salt was too low. And I said, no, we need to do something for salt prices to go high. Go on the street and talk to the ladies. They're enjoying the investment.
Salt mining within the Ada Songo area was poorly developed and yielded less than expected. Electrochem Salt Mining Company was granted a 15-year lease to explore the area's salt resources, but has faced opposition since its inception.
This project had been here for over 54 years. Nobody had been able to develop it. When you come here, you face a lot of opposition, you face a lot of challenges, brutality, media war, empathy, sympathy. But people outside here really don't know what is here.
The salt mine employs over 10,000 workers across 41,000 acres, impacting community, with some residents praising the project.
They were using only 4 pounds for salt winning. It means that 20 was lying down without being used. But with their investment and all these rock boulders they are bringing in, a lot is going to happen.
I mean, I said, first, 200,000, 20 cedis.
Now we sell a sack of salt for 400 cedis. At first, it was just 20 cedis. It's now profitable. President Akufo-Addo indicated that the project will engender development for the locals.
Think with me for a moment about the prospects of Ghana selling $2 billion worth of salt to Nigeria annually, and the ripple effects the sale of such a simple commodity, which Nigeria and indeed many other countries in West Africa import from other continents, can have on our economy. With its current ability to produce some 650,000 metric tons of salt per annum, and expanding its productive capacity to 1 million metric tons in 2024 and to 2 million metric tons by 2027.
Chidethawo Chitando, TV3 News, Ada Songo.
Meanwhile, the owner and founder of the Electrochem salt mining project, Daniel Macaulay, has lauded TV3's Pakwesi Asare for his support in promoting the project and also for winning the BBC Komla Dumor Award.
I want to take this opportunity to congratulate one journalist. His name is Pakwesi Asare, who just won the BBC award, the Komla Dumor Award. So, Pakwesi Asare, I have a plaque for you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Dr. Daniel Macaulay, for this very big surprise. I wasn't expecting it. It's an honor to be celebrated by the BBC as the first Ghanaian to win the BBC World News Komla Dumor Award. Thank you, Ghana. Thanks for the celebration, and I promise to make Ghana proud. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
The National Labour Commission has urged the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, to call off its strike before addressing August salary freeze of its members. CTAG has been on strike since August 1 over unpaid allowances. Let's first listen to CTAG President Prince Obenhime.
The issue of the non-payment of salary also came out. The Commission has said that it has taken notice of that, and they are working hand in hand with the ministry that froze it to ensure that normalcy is restored. But on our part too, we were also asked to, as it were, call off the action or to suspend the action. But as a union, you all know that CTAG, we have always adopted the bottom-up approach. We did not declare the strike, we as leaders. We only implemented what was declared by the grassroots through the National Council. So we are going back to Council to engage them with what transpired today. And we are hopeful that in the coming days, maybe by the close of the weekend, we should finish our engagement and we should be able to reach out to the Commission.
We invited them the second time. They refused to appear. And it has been so through the whole of the month of August until today. And today, why are they here? Because their salaries have been blocked by their employers. And they have petitioned the very commission. They have ignored this directive. This time coming before it to direct their employers to pay them. Anyway, the commission has called on them once again to call off the strike and whilst they look into the matter.
You're still watching News 360 on TV3. When we return from this break, crackdown on traditional herbal medicine practitioners operating without license begins in Accra. Details of this and many more coming up right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Choose Sukasa for the highest quality, luxurious townhouses in East Lagoon Hills. 2, 3, and 4 bedroom in a gated community starting at $40,000 in Accra, Ghana. Sukasa, building on trust.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
It's the Premier League, all on DSTV. All the goals, clashes, and moments. All of Rashford, Salah, and Saka.
Their start is getting better and better.
All in the language of your choice, all in HD. Available on all these bouquets to choose from. To watch on all these devices. Get DSTV with an HD decoder plus 1 month compact for 299 CDs. It's the Premier League, all on DSTV.
Who don't like chop money? They want chop money is here. Collect your chop money every morning at 10 a.m. by simply dialing *446# and select option 2 to play Day 1 539 chop money. Win 40 times your stake with Direct 2, 400 times your stake with Direct 3, and 20 times your stake with Direct 1. You can also pay your numbers to win big. You only pick your numbers from 1 to 39, so winning is easy. Dial *446# to play Day 1 539 chop money now. Dewa, Afa.
Welcome back to News 365. Traditional herbal medicine practitioners operating without license have been busted by the police in Accra. The council led the 2-hour operation intended to promote safety and transparency in the industry. Here's a report by my colleague Stanley Nibleo.
The Traditional Medicine Practitioners Council, led by its public relations officer Numo Blafo, moved in to enforce the law. Some of the practitioners, who are also vendors of herbal medicine, upon noticing the presence of the enforcement team, left their wares and bolted. Some had their shops locked. 5 of them were arrested.
This exercise is actually aimed at clearing out the quacks within the system, because there are a lot of reports of people selling things they claim to be herbal medicine. Sometimes people use it and it doesn't work. But then when we also see that maybe you are peddling certain items which are not certified by the FDA, then that is where we actually hold you and then refer you to the FDA.
Numo Blafo insists the enforcement will be sustained. A study conducted by the National Library of Medicine reveals that about 70% of patients in Ghana use herbal medicine.
This segment is brought to you by MTN, Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
It's now time for some business news. Michael Obodu has joined us. Men's Gold is back in the news.
Exactly,
AG
and this
going
time
after
around,
them.
their customers want NAM1 prosecuted quickly.
Well, hopefully something happens.
All right, thank you. Good evening. Welcome to the business segment here on News 360. My name is Michael Obodu. Now, straight into our first story. As customers of defunct gold dealership firm Men's Gold have called for the speedy prosecution of its CEO, Nana Appiah Mensah, also known as NAM1, following the filing of 39 new charges against him by the Attorney General. The aggrieved customers expressed hope that it would finally bring them the longer-awaited justice. These customers have been trying to retrieve their locked-up investments since 2018 after the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, ordered the shutdown of the company over infractions.
It's a welcoming news to the customers, and I believe that it will bring some relief to the customers, because at the end of the day, there should be justice. We want justice, not only in the civil aspect, even though our ultimate goal is to retrieve our money. But this one is the criminal aspect that we believe that it will bring justice to us and to the state. We want a speedy trial, because oftentimes when you approach, you want to make any move, you hear government operatives saying that the matter is in court. So we want speedy trial so that we can have some finality to this matter.
Now, the co-chair of the Ghana Extractive Industry Transparency Initiative, Dr. Steve Mantea, wants guidelines for sweat equity. This, he believes, will ensure transparency and accountability and curb corruption. Sweat equity is a rewarded of stake in a company to a person for physically ensuring the success of a deal rather than the person's monetary contribution as partner in the company.
Sweat equity is when you go look for some investment, and it happened in the oil sector, when we're looking for investors in our upstream petroleum sector. Those who brought the investors sought some benefit from them in the form of some small stake in the oil project. Those also come with its own risk in terms of diluting what should come to the state. When you bring in one strategic investor, the person who went to identify that strategic investor will seek some kickbacks.
Now, the AFTA Secretariat has said it will collaborate with Ghanaian-owned salt processing firm Electrochem Ghana Limited to halt the importation of the commodity on the continent. Speaking at the commissioning of the factory, Secretary General of the AFTA Secretariat, Wamkele Mene, stated that this was key to ensuring food security and the sustenance of Africans.
This plant will be positioning Africa to positively respond to the challenge of food insecurity, industrialization, and will enable all of us as Africans to say that and to say so with credibility that indeed we are seizing the moment that the AFCFTA is presenting to all of us. We shall work together with the McDan Group to ensure that we deploy an appropriately tailored import substitution strategy so that we stop importing salt from other parts of the world and we export salts from Ghana to the rest of the African continent for the sustainability of our continent.
Hollard Insurance Ghana has partnered with Vivo Energy Ghana to launch Hollard Insurance Pack to ensure motor insurance accessibility and convenience. The boxed motor insurance package is available at Shell Fuel retail outlets and Welcome shops.
The Hollard Insure Pack is a cutting-edge product that allows customers to purchase a motor insurance policy immediately and electronically via smartphones for all types of vehicles and motorbikes.
Traditionally, we've always sold insurance in insurance halls, or if you needed insurance, you had to contact your broker or your intermediary. It was always a laborious process getting insurance. What we are saying is that this is the 21st century. We should move from that way of selling insurance. So we've packaged insurance, motor insurance, and we are selling it at a Vivo shop near to you. After a hard day's work, on your way home, you can pass by and buy your insurance to renew a policy that expires tomorrow. On your way to the office, if you realize that, my insurance is expired, you can drive to the nearest Shell shop to buy insurance.
Corporate Communications Manager of Vivo Energy Ghana, Shirley Tony-Kum, expressed enthusiasm about the partnership.
With this on-the-go insurance pack, we believe that our customers can now get more offers. They can just walk into any of our selected shops all over the country and get their Hollard Insure Pack. As a company that really values the health and safety of its people, we are excited about the fact that our customers, when they come to our stations, are actually insured and protected on the go.
This innovative service is made possible by the Hollard Chat Insure AI technology, also known as Araba Hollard.
Well, that will be all for the business segment here on News 360. For more business stories, kindly check out our website, 3news.com. My name is Michael Obodu. Thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe. Up next is sports.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family because every smile matters.
New Pepsodent Herbal. Introducing a unique combination of herbal extracts in an antibacterial toothpaste for strong teeth and healthy gums that protects your family and you. Every smile matters.
Every child is so unique. You like no other. Outstanding in every way. It's me like no other. So anytime you walk and play, you like no other. You are special like Indomie. It's me like no other.
Did you know that every child on the planet has their own unique fingerprint like no other?
You like no other. I can play the drums. I'm talented. It's me like no other.
I can sing.
I can dance. You like no other.
As well as their own unique talents and abilities.
I can cook. I can paint. You like no other. Indomie. It's you like no other.
So every day, in whatever you do, remember you are special in your own way, like no other.
Thank you, Mom, for letting me know I'm special and for making me my special Indomie. Thank you, Mommy.
Introducing Indomie Beef Flavor. Buy now.
This effort is FDA approved. Betway is your gateway to a theme park full of gaming excitement. A whirlpool of wonder where your favorite games come to life. where you can take to the skies with max payouts that reach into the millions. All in the palm of your hand. Visit betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Bet responsibly.
Sports segment is brought to you by Bell Pack Tissues.
Welcome back to News 360. Time now for sport, and Thierry Nyan is with us. Thierry, there's a controversy about whether or not Dede Ayew should be called for the national team, despite not starting, any game this season. Is that an issue?
You mean? Not having a team, you mean?
Oh, yeah, I just said that this thing was even a loan.
Yeah. We'll get into the details there. And, before we get into the Black Stars, let's look at one of, Ghana's stars. And news just coming through is French side Lyon have announced the signing of Ghanaian prospect Enes Nyema. The former North Zealand player joins on an initial loan deal with an obligation to buy for 30 million euros. Now, the deal will make the 19-year-old the club's most expensive signing in history. He will wear the number 37. Abedi Pele, Michael Essien, and John Mensah. Big shoes to fill. Nyema is expected to be included in the squad ahead of, their crucial league game against PSG this weekend.
I'm happy to be here. Hallelujah.
Now, news of Mohamed Kudus joining West Ham United has brought excitement to the rest of Ghana, especially Nima, where the 23-year-old grew up. Fans of Kudus, in collaboration with the Ghanaian Hammers, decided to celebrate with the people of Nima.
It was a long walk through the streets of Nima as fans of Mohamed Kudus collaborated with the Ghanaian Hammers to celebrate a move to West Ham with the less privileged. Although it was a market day, traders paused to share their joy for Kudus, who has over the years become an ambassador for Nima. The idea was to share the joy of Kudus, who had earned a dream move to the Premier League by donating foods and drinks to the needy in Nima.
It's from the fans of Kudus in Ghana, and we are celebrating his birthday. That happened in August, and also him moving to West Ham. So the major deal was to donate to the people of Nima, where he comes from, and all that.
I think because this is like the first time, we've seen how the situation is, the number of people here. I think we'll be doing it annually, and we'll do it bigger and better. I think this is just something small. We collaborated, and then we just came up with this, and it has been great.
Since 2010, the Ghanaian Hammers, a West Ham fan group in Ghana, have been mobilizing supporters and embarking on a number of projects to help improve the standard of living for young people. With Kudus joining the East London club, they hope to touch more lives in Ghana.
I think Kudus will bring a very more impact on this because from our core mandate, we have been donating to the society for the past decade now. And then the steps that Kudus is taking with his colleagues, I think this will go a long way to help the kids realize their dreams.
The move to West Ham has brought smiles to the faces of people in Nima. With every win, goal and assist, Mohamed Kudus will be assured of a rapturous celebration back home as he begins a new journey in the Premier League.
So that transfer has been sealed. Kudus has already begun training at West Ham United. But we are still looking at transfers as we, edge close to the end of the transfer window. And with a few days to the end of the transfer window, some of Europe's biggest stars eye a move to new clubs as the season progresses. Here's the 3 Sports transfer wrap for today.
Southampton have rejected a loan plus obligation to buy offer from Nice for Kamaldeen Sulemana, according to The Athletic. The club seek payment of the Ghanaian's £30 million release clause before the summer window shuts. Sporting have confirmed the signing of young fullback Ivan Fresneda from Real Valladolid on a permanent transfer. The Portuguese club will pay €12 million total for the highly rated defender. Tottenham Hotspur are closing in on the signing of Spanish winger Ansu Fati on a season-long loan deal. Barcelona reportedly offered the 20-year-old to Chelsea, but the Blues are yet to make an offer. Manchester City have verbally agreed with Wolves for the permanent signing of Matheus Nunes on a permanent transfer. Both clubs are working to complete the final paperwork for the midfielder. Chelsea have agreed a fee worth £45 million with Manchester City for England under-21 international Cole Palmer, multiple sources have reported. An agreement was reached quickly between the two Premier League clubs on Wednesday after Chelsea made a formal approach for the 21-year-old.
And that'll be all for the sports here on News 360. But before we get out of here, the global record for transfer spending in a single window has been broken this summer. The previous high was set in 2019 when clubs spent a collective £6.51 billion. But this summer, £6.56 billion has been spent worldwide, according to reports. Now, Premier League outlay has reached £2.1 billion, rendering it the highest spending division by far. The window remains open and Premier League teams can't make signings until September 1. Total spending in Saudi Arabia is currently at £728 million, putting the Saudi Pro League second on this summer's list, ahead of £682 million Italy Serie A clubs have parted with. German Bundesliga clubs have spent £598 million so far, with the Ligue 1 in France spending £594 million. Now in tennis, American sixth seed Coco Gauff progressed to the third round of the US Open after beating fellow teenager Mira Andreeva in straight sets. Now, New York to keep alive her hopes of a first major singles title. Carlos Alcaraz had a short start to the defense of his US Open men's title after German opponent Dominic Kofa also retired, injured midway through their first round match. And that'll be all for the sports here on News 360 with me, Thea Winyan. We'll bring you some more sports subsequently right here on TV3. Entertainment is next.
There are some moments that last forever because they happen only once. Like your very first day, your first day of school, your first successful bike ride. What's your child's next milestone? Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is here to ensure they smile through it all. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture has been keeping children smiling for more than a decade by relieving them from gastric pain, flatulence, minor digestive upset, and teething discomfort. Now, Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Water is life. Water gives life. Water moves through nature in a never-ending cycle. Observe the beauty of water as it flows all around us, refreshing and restoring. Gaze in wonder at the stillness and beauty of nature. There's harmony in nature everywhere around. Water revitalizes the body and keeps you going strong. Water is life. Water gives life. Drink Awake Purified Drinking Water. One for life. So relax and unwind, and in the calmness of nature, find the rest you desire. For every bottle of Awake you buy, an amount to be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is FDA.
Mo networks am use no. Emprahin and am recharge a. Munya mfaso everyone so. Ah, mabwa, kapre. Wey. And that's what you madi. Muntian ka go di through. Vodafone say every Saturday a brevia over recharge from 5 cities El Cobiano, assigned with Sikenimu up to 20% amount back cash. Our Vodafone cash is so. It shock you? What did you hear say? Over recharge. Say my Vodafone app, Vodafone cash, credit transfer, short code, MOBIA. Ready ya?
Top up your airtime with 5 Ghana Cedi or more in Vodafone's double promotion and receive up to 20% of your money back straight into your Vodafone cash wallet. Recharge and cash out in the Vodafone double promotion.
Vodafone, further together.
Are you a great FIFA player? Do you think you can beat anyone and be the very best in Ghana? The Warmer Plus Esports Festival is here to give you an experience. Join us at the forecourt of TV3. It will be a battle for supremacy in FIFA. Come around, let's smash it on the table tennis, football and a snooker table. Kick about with family and friends. Music, food and many more.
To run it through, Griezmann! Oh, it's there! And he has won FIFA World Cup.
So join us on this ride. It is the Warmer Plus Esports Festival, happening on 2nd September 2023. Powered by 3 Sports.
News segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP Still Timeless, Vodafone Further Together, and powered by 3 Entertainment. Welcome to the Entertainment News segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufua, and the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts has declared September a month of tourism, and the move is to build interest of domestic tourism with the conservation of the country's historical and environmental heritage. The Ghana Tourism Authority, under the auspices of the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, has rolled out a number of festivals and activities throughout the month of September. As part of efforts to highlight the importance of the sector, the authority has declared September a month of tourism. According to the Deputy Chief Executive of the GTA, Eko Samson, this is to educate the indigents and build the interest in domestic tourism.
And it is geared towards encouraging the patronage of prominent festivals, events, tourist sites and attractions in the country, as well as the critical role domestic tourism plays in growing an inclusive and sustainable tourism economy. The month falls on a period where there are significant festivals and events, which includes the Corporate Paragliding and Yankokweu event and the World Tourism Day, celebrated by the United Nations World Tourism Organization. Experience Ghana, Share Ghana, See Ghana, Eat Ghana, Wear Ghana, and Field Ghana agenda, coupled with the December in GH events and activities as part of the Beyond the Return initiatives, are indications of the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture and GTA readiness to promote Destination Ghana as the center of the world.
Akwesi Ajiman is the CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority.
We believe strongly that domestic tourism is the way to go. And over the few years that we've embarked on this tourism month, we've seen significant growth. For example, in 2018, the total number of people who traveled around Ghana was 635,000. Fast forward to 2022, this rose to 937,000. It's because of all these campaigns that we are running. So everything is geared towards making sure that people understand that when you travel, when you go to another destination in Ghana, you are contributing your quota to the development of the country.
Akwaba, to the center. And the founder of the Black Star International Film Festival, Juliet Yasanto Asante, is convinced that the film industry is the solution to the unemployment issue in the continent. And speaking at the launch of this year's film festival, the executive secretary of the NFE said the creative industry can provide jobs to many.
You are frightened? Maybe it's because you have something to be frightened about.
You know, when we think about film, we think about how it educates. We think about how it creates employment. We think about how it amplifies our culture. We think about how it brings opportunity for development and growth and spreading our narratives. And I myself, you know, saying this obviously now as someone who is in government, I continue to work tirelessly to make sure that as a country, we recognize the role that such platforms and indeed the industry as a whole plays in, you know, maintaining and cultivating and nurturing and spreading who we are as a people and our story. In fact, according to UNESCO, this sector is the largest employer on the continent. Africa will have the largest number of young people in the entire world. So we need to create jobs, because if you have young people who don't have jobs, that's a problem. In fact, that's a national security problem. And so we, you know, a sector that creates jobs like this needs to be encouraged to grow. And so the barriers to entry for young people are very low. And so we need to encourage this sector because it can provide jobs for the many young people who are looking for jobs.
The issue is, the thing is simple. Your sister.
And still in entertainment, Nigerian singer and songwriter Tems has opened up to award-winning U.S. rapper Kendrick Lamar about navigating the pressure of success. In a recent interview with Lamar, the Free Mind singer said Afrobeats was not giving her the type of spiritual stimulation she wanted. The well-loved songstress said although the people she asked for advice kept saying she could only rise to stardom as an Afrobeat artist, she was prepared to die for her, believe and stick with R&B. And on the pressures of success, Tems likened being in the public eye to what it must feel like for an animal in a zoo. On that note, we bring an end to the entertainment news segment. My name is Anita Ikia Ikufu. Have a good evening.
It's now time for some international news. Gabon is the latest country in Africa to be hit by the wave of coups. The military has seized power and placed the deposed president under house arrest. The country held elections last week, but the junta has announced the results, which handed deposed President Ali Bongo a fresh 7-year mandate. My colleague Duke Mensah Opoku has more.
Significant for a number of reasons. Number one, it's the fact that Gabon has been ruled by one family for 56 years. So more than 5 decades, one family has made it their business to run Gabon. It started in 1967 when Omar Bongo, born Albert Bongo but changed his name when he became a Muslim, El Haj Omar Bongo, took over the reins of power after the then president Leon Mba died. He was in that government. He started as a military man himself, Omar Bongo, and then became president when Leon Mba died in 1967. He ran that country from 1967 till he passed on in 2009. And then his first son, Ali Bongo Ondimba, who was the deposed president, took over the reins of power. He's actually contested and won elections on 2 occasions. So he served 14 years, that is 2 terms of 7 years each. And he was going to serve his 3rd term of 7 years, which would have made it to him, serve 21 years in power. But he's been deposed, he's been ousted now. He has been seen in the last few hours in a viral video lamenting the kind of treatment he's been given by the military junta. The military junta say his rights will not be trampled upon. He's a normal Gabonese, and that nobody will harm him.
I'm Ali Bongo Ondimba, President of Gabon, and I'm to send a message to all the friends that we have all over the world to tell them to make noise, for the people here have arrested me.
He still refers to himself as the president of Gabon and is calling on the international community to make noise, lamenting the kind of treatment he's been given. He says he's been separated from the wife and his kids. Apart from the fact that it's been 56 years, why is it that you've had one family in that country, in the seat of power for 56 years? A very key reason is that a strategic military base of France called Camp de Gaulle is situated in Libreville, which is the capital of Gabon. And the French boots on the ground in Gabon have always protected the interests of the Bongo family. They have natural resources. Over 90% of that country is covered in green vegetation in forest. So you understand why the French would protect the interests of the Bongo family, because it will serve the interests of the French. The international community is watching keenly and in what is the latest in the wave of what has been referred to as the French Spring in Africa.
And just before we go, remember to brush your teeth before you go to bed this evening and tomorrow morning when you wake up from bed with either the Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, the Pepsodent Charcoal, the Pepsodent Herbal, or the Pepsodent Triple Action, because triple protection actually. Because with Pepsodent, every smile matters. And that's it for the bulletin. My name is Martin Esiedudate.
My name is Aisha Yakubu Halid. That's more news on 3news.com. Good evening.